Very good morning, my dear friends. Welcome back to Chandan Logic's English class. My name is Shyam. So if you are a student preparing for competitive exams, especially banking exams, this session is for you. In this session, we are going to spend some time on spotting errors, especially related to banking exams. My dear friends, what is very important is to understand the fundamental fact that error detection is possible only if you have some thorough knowledge in all the topics of grammar. Because spotting errors can happen based on tenses. Spotting errors can happen based on prepositions. Spotting errors can happen based on conjunctions. Spotting errors can happen based on subject-verb agreement. So what is important is to understand the fundamental fact that spotting errors can be handled only if you have thorough knowledge of all the topics of English grammar. And also do remember, spotting errors can also happen based on vocabulary as well. So in this session, let's focus on some very important spotting errors, my dear friends. I hope this session is going to be very useful, especially for the IBPS PO students and SBI PO students and also other banking related exams, because most of the questions which I have designed in this session, they are of banking level. Okay, both prelims and mains. Some questions you will find them very easy, some very difficult. Okay, let's get started. Once again, I welcome you all to the Chandan Logic's English class. My name is Shyam. You are watching Chandan Logic's English YouTube channel. Every morning 8 o'clock I'm on live. And every evening 7:30 I come on live on Chandan Logic's Telugu YouTube channel. Okay. And my dear friends, this is a very good opportunity Chandan Logics is giving you. Free course. In this free course, you can practice different practice questions. Okay. And a police job aspirant can get English classes on Chandan Logics at a very reasonable price. Okay guys, here we go. So my dear friends, if you observe this, there is a sentence here where 4 sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 4 sentences, and you need to find out which sentence is wrong. Identify the incorrect statements, my dear friends. Identify the incorrect statements, my dear friends. Maximum time I can give you is hardly 10 to 20 seconds. 10 to 20 seconds. So identify, my dear friends, which sentence is grammatically incorrect. Incorrect. Yes. Your reading speed is very important. Your understanding speed is very important. There are 4 parts of the sentence, A, B, C, D. And you need to identify where there is error. Yes, my dear friends. See, when you learn the topic prepositions, you will be always, you have to be thorough with the rules of prepositions. My dear friends, as far as prepositions is concerned, there is a very important rule of the preposition called attribute to. Do you know the meaning of attribute to? I'll give you one example. Sita failed in the exam. Her failure is attributed to her laziness. Ganesh passed in the exam. His success is attributed to his hard work. So when we use the word attribute, the preposition should be generally to. Attribute to, which is like attributable to. Attribute to. Attributable to. If you see here, attributable with is given, it is wrong. It must be attribute to. It must be attribute to. Okay. Very important preposition rule. This is, my dear friend. This is a very important preposition rule. Okay. So part B has a serious problem. Attributable to is wrong. We say attribute attributable to. Attributable with is wrong, attributable to. Okay. I would like to read the complete sentence once so that you will understand it. Although the doctors had repeatedly warned the patient that his deteriorating condition was largely attributable to his prolonged neglect of dietary restrictions, he continued consuming processed food in quantities that had aggravated his already weakened liver and had eventually resulted in several complications that required immediate medical intervention. My dear friends, I have to tell you something. What is the meaning of the sentence? Doctors had given warning to the patient many times. Doctor had given warning to the patient many times. But even the doctor had given him warning to the patient many times, the patient still continued eating bad food. He is eating processed food. So because of what happened? That resulted in several complications. So there is a problem now with the tenses. I'll help you. I'll give you a sentence with tenses. Okay. Though I had worked hard, I had failed. Though I had worked hard, I had failed. My dear friends, can you find the error in this sentence so that you will find the error in that sentence? Yes, my dear friends. You understood something? Are you following, guys? I'm asking you a very simple question. This is really a very easy question, very simple question. So if you observe here, already here there is past perfect because doctors had already warned him. So this is past perfect. But now if that is past perfect, why do you want to use past perfect here again? Because doctors giving him warning is the first action, but result coming is the later action. So here you don't have to use had. Here had is not needed. B and D parts have errors. B and D parts have errors. I'll repeat, listen carefully. Problem number 1 is attributable with is wrong, attributable to. Because it is a direct preposition rule that you need to understand attribute to. It is a direct preposition rule that you need to understand attribute to. His failure is attributed to his negligence. Your success will be attributed to your hard work and sincerity. So attribute to, that is one rule. Now here the problem is tenses problem. Already here had is there, past perfect tense. Here had is not needed. So the answer is B and D. One error is based on preposition, my dear friends, and one error is based on tenses. One error is based on preposition, my dear friends, and one error is based on tenses. What do you think, guys? One error is based on preposition and one error is based on tenses. What do you think, guys? Do you think it is correct? Yes, 100% correct. I'm going to the next question. I believe that the question number 2, I expect good answer from you. Take 20 seconds time. Yes, my dear friends. Waiting for your answer. I will read the sentence once. The investigating officer who had been examining the circumstances, the investigating officer who had been examining the circumstances surrounding the mysterious death of the businessman for nearly 3 weeks discovered that several crucial documents had deliberately been removed from his office. Before the police arrived at the scene, suggesting that someone had attempted to conceal the evidence before the investigation began. My suggestion is, don't simply find some error because you have to find an error. Many students do that mistake. They simply want to find some error because they have to find some error. Never do that. Please understand the sentence once. What is the meaning of the sentence? The investigating officer, there is an officer who was the investigating officer who had been examining the circumstances surrounding the death. So somebody died. And why he died? Who died? There is an officer who is investigating the officer. Okay, very good. Who died? A businessman died 3 weeks back. Discovered that. So the investigating officer discovered that several crucial documents had deliberately been removed from his office. So there is a businessman who died, and before he died, some of the documents from his office were removed. And by the time the police went there, suggesting that something had happened to conceal the evidence. So naturally, somebody killed him and took away some documents. This is the meaning of the sentence. It is a pure murder case. It is genuinely a murder case. It is clearly a murder case. Now I want you to find out the error, my dear friends. Last 10 seconds. And my request is, don't message ABCDs in the options. Clearly tell me your answer. Don't simply put ABCD. What do you think is the error? Be very specific. Be very clear. Be very specific. Be very clear. Be very specific. Be very clear. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends. See, I'll tell you the biggest problem in the sentence. See here, if you look at the part C, there is a problem. Several crucial documents had deliberately been removed. This is a wrong sentence. This part is wrong. Rather than, you should say, had been deliberately removed. Had been deliberately removed. See, you are unnecessarily using deliberately adverb before been. You have to simply say several crucial documents had been deliberately removed. Had been deliberately removed. Had been deliberately removed. Had been deliberately removed. So this is one problem. Okay. One more problem is again related to tenses. Here you already used had been. Investigation officer is doing the investigation. Suggesting. So my dear friends, in our English grammar, there is a rule called imperative model where suggest, advise, order, request, hope, wish, etc., etc. You don't have to use past perfect. You simply use past simple. So here, had should be removed. Had should be removed. Suggesting that someone attempted to conceal the evidence. That's all. Here, suggesting is a verb. You don't have to use past perfect there. Suggesting, you only use past simple. 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 I'll repeat what I have said. Listen carefully, guys. One problem in the part C is this problem. You can't say had deliberately been removed. These two should be in the reverse position. Had been deliberately removed. Had been deliberately removed. One more problem is with the part 4. That is, you don't have to use had. Remove had. So then what happens is suggesting that someone attempted to conceal the evidence. Suggesting that someone attempted to conceal the evidence. That's all. Suggesting that someone attempted to conceal the evidence. Frankly speaking, since this session began today, I am not quite happy with your answers in the comment section. I haven't seen any right answer so far. Clearly, you are simply putting ABCDs. You should be very specific when you send your answer in the comment section. I hope you understand the first and second questions. Can I expect some better performance in the third question? And when you send your answer in the comment section, your answer should be very clear, very specific. Third answer, please. Yes. This question is related to money. Can you confidently give me some good answer? Yes. I'm reading the sentence once. Despite having accumulated considerable wealth during the previous decade. Despite having accumulated considerable wealth during the previous decade, the industrialist was reluctant to invest in ventures. He had become increasingly apprehensive about the volatility of financial markets and feared that an unforeseen crisis might deprive him from a significant portion of his savings. So I am going to explain this sentence, guys. Listen carefully. Despite having accumulated considerable wealth during the previous decade, there is an industrialist, there is a man who earned a lot of money in the last 10 years. There is a man who earned a lot of money in the last 10 years. He was reluctant to invest in ventures that promised substantial returns. So there is an opportunity, there is a venture, there is a business opportunity. This is a very profitable opportunity, good profits. But he is not interested to invest in this. He is not interested to invest in this profitable business. Why? Because he had become increasingly apprehensive about the volatility of the financial markets. See, financial markets are very unstable. You know, volatility. Volatility means unstable. So financial markets can fluctuate, and this business person who was already rich, he doesn't want to take risk. He doesn't want to take risk, so he doesn't want to invest money in this. And he also had fear about unforeseen crisis might deprive him from a significant portion of his savings. Simple meaning is this person already earned some good money. Now he doesn't want to risk this money investing in this volatile business. Simple. My suggestion is, now give me your answers in the comment section, but don't simply put ABCD. For example, if you feel some error is there is an error in the A part, clearly mention what is the error in the A part. Don't simply put ABCDs. So meaning is clear. Meaning is clear. Very good, Sharanya. I really appreciate. So Sharanya gave wonderful answer. Deprive from is wrong. Deprive of. It is a direct preposition rule, my dear friends, that we say deprive of. We don't use deprive from. We use deprive of. We don't use deprive from, we use deprive of. So no doubt this is a beautiful rule. So Sharanya, I appreciate. And Sharanya, I should also tell you there is one more problem here. The problem is with the C part. So Sharanya, can you identify any problem in the C part? Can you identify any error in the C part? Yes, guys. See, apprehensive is the preposition. Generally, we use apprehensive about, but there is also a preposition called apprehensive of. The meaning comes like unsure, unsure of, unsure of. Apprehensive of means unsure of. Apprehensive of means unsure of. We say apprehensive of, which means unsure of. Apprehensive of, unsure of. Apprehensive of, unsure of. That is why I always say learn the rules of grammar properly. I know some of you are very seriously preparing for banking exams. Prelims is not a problem. You will go through prelims easily. But what about mains? Do you want to start your preparation for mains just before 1 week? No. You have to focus on your preparation for mains levels. Mains level. So now you understood something, I hope so. Guys, can you try the fourth question? This is related to friendship. Easy question. Context is easy. Who is going to give the right answer now? Yes. Although the two friends had known each other since childhood and had frequently supported one another during periods of adversity, their relationship gradually deteriorated after one of them accused the other for deliberately withholding information that they could have prevented the financial loss which both of them eventually incurred. I'm going to help you guys. I will explain the meaning of this sentence. There are two friends. They're very close friends. They are very close friends. Okay? They know each other since childhood. Suddenly what happened? And these two are very close friends, and whenever there is a problem, they used to support each other. But one day what happened? One fellow did not tell the information clearly to the other fellow. Because of this, there is a problem, financial loss, and both have to suffer from this financial loss. So this fellow accused this fellow because this person did not tell him the information properly. Communication did not happen well. Communication did not happen well. Okay? Communication did not happen well. 100% you're right. Who is that? Sharanya, 100% you're right. Naveen, 100% you're right. In prepositions, there is a very, very important rule called accused of. Accused of, 100%. See, accused of is 100% the problem. Accused for is wrong. Accused of. Accused for is wrong. Accused of. Okay. There is one more problem. I know this is easy, but there is one more problem. And this problem, I think you need to be very focused. Yes. Who can answer this question? I think Sai is trying to say something. There is a problem in the fourth option. Which both? Which both? What is the problem? Sai, can you be more specific? Yes, guys, I have given you lots of time, but I'm not happy with your answers. So, there is no clarity in the answers. Fourth option, there is no clarity here. Yes, my dear friends, I'm waiting for your answer. This is surely the problem here because I have said preposition. So, accused, for is wrong. Accused of. Now, if you observe here, supported. See, if you observe here, A option, if you observe here, fourth option, there is a problem with the fourth option. And what is the problem with the fourth option? The problem with the fourth option is generally both of them eventually incurred. There is a problem here. You cannot say both of them. What is the problem with both of them? Generally we write both of them, right? No. Generally we say both of them are intelligent, both of them are rich, both of them are clever. No. Both of them expression is not valid. Instead you say they both incur losses. 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 You understand? They both incur losses. They both face losses. They both incur losses. Please remember all the rules which I am explaining in today's session. Question number 5 is related to economy. Can you try this answer, guys? Economy. Question number 5 related to economy. Who can answer this question? Who can answer this question? Question number 5 related to economy. Last 10 seconds I am waiting for you. Yes, my dear friends. Had the government introduced the proposed reforms at an earlier stage, the economy would have recovered much faster from the prolonged slowdown that had been triggered by declining consumer demand and rising unemployment, which continues to exert considerable pressure upon small businesses across the country. If you want, I'll explain the meaning also, dear. I'll explain the meaning also. If the government had introduced the proposed reforms at an earlier stage, so the meaning is, if the government had introduced proposed reforms at an earlier stage, economy would have recovered much faster. See, there is a prolonged slowdown. Economy is slowed down for a long time. So if the government had introduced some good measures, things would have been better. That had been triggered by declining consumer demand. Already the economy was very slow because of these two reasons. Consumer demand was low, unemployment is high, which continues to exert considerable pressure upon small business across the country. See, in a very simple way, I'll explain. Consumer demand is decreasing, unemployment is increasing, economy is slow down. This is the situation. If the government had taken some good measures, problem would have been solved. Simple. Now your answer, please. Now for the fact that the government did not do any good measures, problems are being observed and small businesses are affected. Small businesses are affected. So had the government introduced the proposed reforms at an earlier stage, the economy would have recovered much faster from the prolonged slowdown that had been triggered. The economic slowdown that had been triggered by declining consumer demand and rising unemployment, which continues to exert pressure upon small businesses. Okay, I'll tell you there is a problem here with C and D. There is a problem with C and D. The problem in the fourth sentence is You cannot use here continues. You have to use past tense, continued. This whole sentence is in past tense. So you have to use past tense. There you cannot use present tense. There you must use past tense. There you must use past tense. So which continued? What do you say? Which continued? Okay. Which continued? Past tense. Now there is also a problem with the C option. That had been triggered by declining consumer demand and rising unemployment. There is a problem in the C option. The problem is here you don't have to use that had been triggered. You better say that was triggered. You don't have to use had been. You have to use was. One question related to tenses and one question also tenses. Both are related to tenses. Try the question number 6. Which student who can give both errors clearly in the comment section? I want both errors clearly in the comment section. Who can give me both the answers perfectly? Who can give me both the answers perfectly? Both the answers perfectly. This is about education. This is about education. Yes, my dear friends. The professor emphasized that students who relied excessively upon memorizing facts were unlikely to develop the analytical abilities required for solving complex problems, because genuine understanding cannot be acquired merely through repeated exposure. Genuine understanding cannot be acquired through repeated exposure to information without attempting to comprehend how different concepts are interrelated. I'll explain the meaning of the sentence. Listen carefully, guys, because if you don't understand the meaning properly, you cannot find the answers that easily. Please understand the meaning of the sentence. There is a professor who said many times that some students who rely exclusively upon memorizing facts, some students, they only get by heart the facts. They get by heart the facts. They don't understand the concept. Such kind of students cannot have analytical ability because they cannot solve the problems. They don't have problem solving skills. Because genuine understanding cannot be acquired merely through repeated exposure to information without attempting to comprehend how difficult. So simply to say, if you don't understand the concept properly, if you just want to get by heart everything, tomorrow when a problem comes, you can't solve. That is the meaning. The meaning is don't mug up the stuff. Don't get by heart the meanings. Don't get by heart the meanings. Don't mug up the stuff. Don't mug up the stuff. Don't mug up the stuff. Don't get by heart the meaning. Prashant Raj, you have taken the help from ChatGPT. I know that. Don't do that. Because if you take support from the internet, support from the books, that will not give you good knowledge. You have to genuinely try your answer. You have to genuinely try your answer. What is the meaning of the sentence? You are entirely talking about past tense. See, emphasized is past tense. Relied is past tense. Required is past tense. Acquired is past tense. Everything is past tense here. Everything is past tense here. So, You cannot use present tense here. Cannot is present tense. You have to use could not. Could not is past tense. Okay. Okay. Number one. Number two, there is one more problem. Genuine understanding could not be acquired merely through repeated exposure to information without attempting to comprehend how different concepts are interrelated. So guys, I told you there is one error in the C option. Tenses error. Cannot be used. Could not be used. Because the whole sentence is in past tense. There is one more problem. Who will tell me? Who will tell me? Who will tell me? I told you one error. I am asking you to find one more error. When everything is past tense, here also you have to use past tense. Are cannot be used. Use were. Use were. Use were. I think so far out of the 6 questions, almost 3-4 questions are based on tenses only. And you are not able to answer tenses question confidently. You are not able to answer tenses question confidently. Yes, my dear friends. Can you try the question number 7? This is about technology. This is about technology. This is about technology. Try your answer. Imagine this is the exam that you are writing. So genuinely try your answer. Waiting for your answer. Last 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds. Yes. Okay, I'll explain the meaning once. Listen carefully. As artificial intelligence continues to transform the manner in which businesses operate, several employees have expressed concern that their jobs may eventually be replaced by sophisticated algorithms capable of performing tasks that once required years of experience and extensive training in order to be competently performed by human workers. So I'll explain this clearly. Listen. Today we know there is a lot of technology, artificial intelligence, AI. So naturally people working in some companies, they are worried because if this technology that can do miracles replace humans, we will lose our jobs. This is the meaning of the sentence. This is the meaning of the sentence. Naturally, no, any employee would worry, what if technology replaces humans? If a machine can do what Shyam sir is doing, then Shyam sir will lose his job, like that. Right. Yes, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends. Okay. I have given enough time but not good answers coming from your side today. As AI continues to transform the manner in which businesses operate, means artificial intelligence is changing a lot of business operations. Several companies have expressed concern that their jobs, several employees are worried because their jobs may be eventually replaced by technology which is capable of performing tasks that once required years of experience. Okay, that once required years of experience. So you are talking about once upon a time, if a person had to do a job in 1 hour, today technology can solve the problem in 1 minute. So that once required, no, that once had required. Again, the question is based on tenses. That once had required years of experience and extensive training in order to be completely performed by human workers. There is a problem in the fourth option also. Can you tell me what is the problem in the fourth option? The tasks that once had required years of experience and extensive training in order to be competently performed by human workers. There is a problem with the fourth option also. Can you tell me what is the problem in the fourth option? Did you understand why had comes here? Did you understand why had comes here? Had comes here because once upon a time, for example, in the year 2010, there was a software engineer. He had done some job in 1 hour, but today a computer can do the same job in 1 minute. So there is a difference, no, past perfect. So one that once had required years of experience and extensive training in order to be competently performed by human workers. There is a problem in the fourth option. Waiting for your answer. I'm giving you lots of time today because at least I want you to confidently answer some answers. If I only tell you all the answers, then what is the point of live session? I can give you a recording video. I wanted you to perform well, at least if not in one question, some other question. There is something called parallelism. There is something called parallelism. According to the parallelism, the tense should be in the same. So by sophisticated algorithms capable of performing that once had required years of experience and extensive training. Why suddenly extensive training? And he had required years of experience and an extensive training. And there is should be, the grammar should be complete, no? An extensive training, or you use some extensive training. An extensive training, some extensive training. You directly can't say extensive training. The teacher is trying to provide extensive training to the students. Wrong. The teacher is trying to provide an extensive training. Shyam sir is providing extensive training to the students. Wrong. Shyam sir is providing an extensive training, an article or some extensive training, little extensive training. So there should be some adjective. There should be the complete sentence. There should be some complete sentence. Can you try the question number 8? This is related to politics. Vishnu, what happened? Sharanya, what happened? Sai, what happened? Naveen, I want good answers from you. Prashant, I want good answers from you. This is about politics. Can you try? I promise you this is easy, guys. I promise you this is easy. Yes. This is easy, I promise you. This is easy. Okay, I'll do one thing, I'll help you. B and C both are incorrect. B and C both are incorrect. Can you tell me what is the problem in B and what is the problem in C? B and C both are incorrect. Can you exactly tell me the problem in B and the problem in C? Nobody? Not confident answer? Why will effect come there? Adversely is an adverb. After adverb, verb only should come. This is the verb. If you say effect, effect is a noun. Adversely is an adverb. After adverb, verb must come. After adverb, verb must come. Okay, nobody. Today, very poor performance. Sorry to disgrace you. Your performance is not up to the mark. I think Sharanya is right in one way. Would. Would plus V1, correct? Would plus V1, correct? So, would plus V1 and V1. Would plus V1 and V1. So, here the problem is would plus V1 and V1. So, there should be result only. There should be result only. There should be result only. There is one more problem in the B. There is one problem in the B part. What is the problem in the B part? Read the complete sentence and you will understand. The minister claimed that the opposition had deliberated. The minister claimed that the opposition had deliberately misrepresented the government's decision. So there is a minister who is saying that the opposition party had deliberately misrepresented the government decision. See, government, opposition. Government took a decision, but the opposition party, what it is doing? It is misrepresenting this decision in a wrong way. It is giving a wrong idea. In order to create an impression, article problem. You cannot say an impression, you must say the impression. In order to create the impression, that why the impression? Because it is the plan of the opposition party. This is what the opposition party wanted. The opposition party wanted to create the impression in such a way that people will think government is wrong. So impression there is specific. There you are talking about the impression which is specific there. You are talking about some impression there which is specific there, which is specific. Then whatever impression you are talking about there, it must be specific. It must be very specific. It must be very specific. Okay. Can you try the question number 9? This is based on law. I promise you this is the easiest question in the entire session. And if you don't answer the question number 9, then you must really start worrying about spotting errors. Genuinely, question number 9 is the easiest question. Let me see if you can perform well in this question. Question number 9 is the easiest question. It will take only 10 seconds for any student to answer this simple question. I'll count 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How easy question, still you are not confident? So, accused by. What is the preposition for accused? Accused of. This is one problem. What happened to you today? Are you being negligent or lazy these days? I think spotting errors, easy level questions you are doing well, but what about tough level questions? And what is this? Acquit from. No, you can't say acquit from, sorry. You have to use acquit of. How easy? Not happy today, your performance is not up to the mark. Don't give up. Don't give up your focus. What is the meaning of accused? Blame. What is the meaning of acquit? Release from a problem. Release. Prove not guilt. Acquit from. Release from jail. Release from punishment. Release from a problem. Release from punishment. Release from a problem. Release from punishment, release from a problem. Acquit of, accused of, acquit of, accused of, acquit of. Done. Last question in this session. Before we go to the last question, Chandan Logics is offering you 0 to Hero 2.0 prelims mains. Complete content is there for you. And 6.0 championship batch is awaiting you. Utilize this opportunity. CGL students can get good classes here. Take some good course. Last question and then we end the session. Guys, please end this session in a happy note. Don't end this session again with poor performance. Poor performance. Waiting for your answer. Waiting for your answer. The researchers warned that unless immediate measures were adopted to curb deforestation, so the researchers warned that unless immediate measures were adopted to curb deforestation, see, unless is called conditional clause. I think yesterday's session, the live session that I have taken in the morning, was also on conditional clause, but you didn't recognize that. Here unless means if not. So conditional clause, what is given here? Were, which is type 2 conditional. If that is type 2 conditional, what is the main clause? Would plus V1. So would have disappeared is wrong. You can't say would have disappeared. You must say would disappear. You can't say would have disappear. You must say would disappear. Would disappear. Correct. So part 2 has the problem. This is based on conditionals. Now part 3. The researchers warned that unless immediate measures were adopted to curb deforestation, several species that are currently found in the region would disappear. Correct. For example, if government doesn't take proper decisions, the forest will disappear, no? By the end of the next decade, thereby causing irreversible damage to the ecological balance, which sustains thousands of. Here you can't use which. You have to use that. Guys, there is a lot of difference between which and that. According to the meaning of the sentence, you can't use which. You have to use that. Because that is the flow of the sentence. That goes to the flow of the sentence. I read the book that you gave me. I lost the money that you gave me. I liked the movie that I watched. That goes like that. Which comes like disturbance. Which is coming like 2 commas between. Which is like extra information. The idea, comma, which my uncle gave me last week when I was confused, comma, changed my life. So which comes like non-restrictive, which comes like a restrictive clause. Here which cannot be used. It should be that. It should be that. It should be that. Not up to the mark. Not up to the mark. So spotting errors, I think you need to focus really on. Practice more questions. Be thorough with the rules of the grammar. Mostly see tenses, prepositions, articles, conditional, subject-verb agreement, everything same. Not this week, but next week again one session I'll plan spotting errors. Okay. Meanwhile, I want you to take spotting errors seriously, not a good performance today. Please practice. Please practice. Anything is possible with practice. Okay. I'll meet you in my next session.